Hey everyone, I'm Kerry Daigle. Welcome today to another version of The Big Picture. As you're all aware, the first Saturday of every month, The Big Picture is about training. Now, Janet Miller is going to be the young lady that's going to give you some information today on what she knows about Juice Plus and what her story is and the time that she's been involved with the company. She's a registered nurse by profession. You know, many of us eliminate possibilities for ourselves by giving up too early in what I call the fight. Our biggest challenge is to overcome what we call self-defeating thoughts and to keep going. The question is, what was it that you weren't willing to handle? Now, you have to devote the energy to accomplish your goals. Now, today, Janet Miller has a story and lessons that she acquired on her decade-plus journey from registered nurse to national marketing director with the Juice Plus company. So we hope you take some good notes. Remember, you're going to retain 100% of what you write and 10% of what you hear. Here's Janet.
Well, thank you, Kerry. Thank you, Mickey. I'm excited to be here. It's a beautiful Saturday morning. May, can you believe May is already here? 2023 is just flying by. A lot of people are out today with graduations and birthdays. I know I have a son who's having a birthday this weekend, and people are traveling. And as Kerry said, one of our own is getting married tonight. So I hope that if you have some people in there, I know I have some team that's not owned because they're traveling, that you will take notes. I'm just going to give you a few nuggets of what I have found to be life-changing for me as I look back and I look at how I got, as Kerry said, how I got from registered nurse to where I am now as a national marketing director, and what has influenced me probably the most about some of this journey. So I am a nurse by profession, but probably what I'm the most proud of, I know I'm the most proud of, is I'm the mother to four children who are grown now. They're all married, and 6 grandchildren. And so that is a life that I love living now. I think aging is wonderful. I love adult children and I love having grandchildren. But you know, as we age, we want to age wonderfully, don't we? We want to feel good. We want to look good. And I get so tired of hearing people say, you know, it's just part of getting old. You know, we're just going to be that way. Well, no, I don't believe that. You know, I believe in aging gracefully, but I also believe in aging with a lot of energy and vitality, because I want to live for these kids and these grandkids. I want to have a great time. I mean, life is great. And so I have had such a passion for so long about trying to share with people about this product, because I see what it can do for people. I've seen what it's done for me, and I see what it's done for my children and now my grandchildren. So I feel like, though, today, what I want to do is I want to go back a little bit and I want to just talk about some basics, some things that I was taught and I learned way back when I first was introduced to this product and then took hold of the business. But sometimes I think we forget what we used to do. And especially the last 3 years, I think we've all been in a fog and we've been inside way too much. I know I have. And we've just gotten really quiet. And how do we get out of that? How do we get out of the quietness and out of the staleness? It's to discover the passion that you used to have. It's discover, go back to what made you fall in love with this to begin with. What lit that fire that you had, you know, that you couldn't wait to share this. So I want to go back because I think we need to get loud and proud again and start sharing what we know to be true. We are with the greatest company, and we definitely by far have the greatest product out there on the market for health and wellness and prevention. So I want to tell you my story. I'm going to start there. About 18 years ago, I was a mom of 4 busy teenagers at home, being a full-time mom. I had put my nursing aside for a while to stay home, and I was very blessed to be able to do that. That's what I wanted to do. And I was taking care of them full-time. I had my parents, they had moved in with me. Life was super busy. If you can imagine, 4 teenagers, they were age 13 to 19. And I didn't really like what was happening in my family. I had grown up very blessed to grow up on a small town farm in small town Mississippi. um, and my mother had this tremendously large garden. And so I had eaten really well most of my life as far as, vine ripened produce, mainly vegetables from the garden. But I really didn't know what it was like to have frozen vegetables out of the store or not have produce that tasted wonderful because it was vine ripened. I thought everybody lived that way. I really lived in a bubble. We didn't travel a lot as a family, so I didn't get out a lot. And my town had no fast food restaurant. I didn't know what fast food was. So I literally was raised eating pretty healthy. Just didn't realize that other people didn't until I was married. I moved to the city. I started having my own kids. And, there's a fast food restaurant, every fourth of a mile, if not closer together. Our city is inundated by them. And I started seeing my children do things that I didn't do growing up. And I started seeing them have way more of the junk food, the processed food, than the healthy food, the pure vine ripened plant food that God gave us that we're supposed to stay healthy with. And I fell right into the trap of most mothers. You do what's fast, you do what's easy, you do what's convenient because you're going to this practice, this game, that game, and you multiply that times 4 kids, and you're in the car a whole lot, running around. Well, between that and church, I was having to get real creative on how to get in them what I wanted to get in them. And I did try to cook at night and feed them correctly, but you know what? I was like 1 or 2, maybe 2 vegetables a day, maybe 1 fruit, like grapes in their lunchbox. It was hard to do. And I had this mom guilt because I didn't know. I thought, I don't know what to do. I can't have a garden like my mother here in the city. I can't get this in them the way I want to, but I know I should. Well, you know what? A friend of mine just happened to drop off some information one day and said, you might want to look at this. This is something I'm doing. I'm training for a marathon. I was introduced to this by a doctor. This friend is a doctor also. He's an optometrist. And a doctor that he was training with, an MD, medical doctor, had introduced him to this product. And he said, it's just really good for you. And there's this program where children get it for free. And I thought about you with your 4 children. I said, okay, thank you. And I took the information, I laid it on the desk, and I didn't look at it. Okay. So lesson number 1, give people time. Don't get frustrated, because I didn't. It was 4 to 6 weeks before I would even look at it, because I just thought, you know what? It's just another one of those products. I've been introduced to several, including, I know one of them was Herbalife, and I just looked at it and thought, oh, we've tried multivitamins. We've tried, several things, and it's a hassle. The kids weren't, taking them regularly. I had so many things I had to fuss at them about to do, like their homework, get to bed on time, these things that I thought it's just one more thing. And I think they're even absorbing the darn things, because I could tell when I took the same product, the urine changed colors. So I'm like, what am I doing? Why am I wasting my time? I did know enough from my nursing school days to know that probably was not being absorbed in the body. Okay, so we weren't doing anything. But this was concerning to me, because at that time, I was starting to see a lot of things happen around me with my children, their age group. Children were having more diagnosis of type 2 diabetes. Well, juvenile diabetes is what it used to be called. And, when I was in nursing school, it was rare for a child to be a diabetic. Today, it is the norm. They've just taken an adult diagnosis and put juvenile in front of it. All right. Same thing with cancer. Thing with ADD, ADHD. All this is so related to our diets. I live here in Memphis with St. Jude. Wow, what a great facility, right? And our company is a strong supporter of that. But they keep having to add on wings because they keep having more and more children that need help. And so I just got really concerned. And at the same time, my friends were being diagnosed with a lot of cancers that in their 40s, in their 30s. I didn't see that in nursing school. So I jumped on the Juice Plus bandwagon, okay? Once I finally listened to the information, I was blown away. And I am so thankful that my friend shared with me a couple of videos. I listened to a couple professionals, and I started thinking, this is my answer. Like, this is like my mother's garden, but better because it's clean. It's kosher approved. It's vine ripened like my mother's, but I'm sure my mother's wasn't clean. So I want to just show you real quick. This is what I fell in love with. I know we have a few new people on today. And I just want to show you real quick. We have the fruit. We have the vegetables. Oh, I didn't bring my berries in there. We have a berry blend, and we now have an omega blend, okay? This is so awesome. This has only been out for 4 or 5 years. Incredible. So what you have here is you have your fruits, your vegetables, and your berries, which are your micronutrients, your omegas, which are so essential for brain health, bone health, gut health, heart health. It's not just one omega, it's all the omegas. It's a blend. It's 3, 5, 6, 7, and 9. But just like these, the omegas, everything is plant-based with this company. I love that. No fish, and we grow all our own plants. So we have control over what happens in the soil. We have control over the land being turned like they should be. We have control over what is put on them. And you know that they're clean, not only because they're kosher approved, but we have this amazing certification. You might not can see it really well, but it's called NSF. You need to look for this on all your products, okay? Because what that says is it has been tested. It is the gold standard of testing that you can know that what you're taking is clean. It doesn't have anything hidden in it. What we say on the label is in there. And also that it's pure, clean. It's not full of toxins. It's not full of contaminants. How awesome is that? How many years have people, and they still do, they go and buy Flintstone gummies and it says, keep away from children. How does that make sense? It's a warning label. So, we have no warning labels on ours. And so it was so amazing to me. It was like a light bulb moment after I listened to the information on all these products. We have a protein shake mix so that you can get your high protein, plant-based. This is your micronutrients. Wonderful product. It's the highest rated protein on the market. Only protein on the market to ever get the perfect score of 1. It comes in vanilla in a single sachet. It comes in chocolate in a bag like this, if you'd rather have just a large bag. And then we also have another new protein drink called Perform. It's absolutely wonderful, has a wonderful amino acid profile, B vitamins. It's great for recovery from, especially for people who do more, like athletes, for muscle recovery, muscle building. But it's really for anybody that just is busy and needs more. So I love this company because it's one focus, and it is your health, your nutrition, what you're eating, micronutrients, macronutrients, and we also have the Tower Garden where you can grow your own fruits and vegetables aeroponically. So I jumped on this real quickly, took hold of it. I say real quickly, I did say it took me 6 weeks, but let me tell you, once I listened to the information, I put down what I was doing. I went in there, I called my friend who shared this with me, and I said, I want it. I want all of it. And I said, but I want it for all my kids. He told me I could sponsor one. Their dad could sponsor one. to get the product free. So then I had 2 more that left too. And I was going to buy it for him. So then I thought, well, I'm purchasing a lot. And I asked him, I said, can I be a partner with this company? And I think I took him back a little bit. And he said, what? And I said, well, I think this is amazing. I know a lot of people who need this. I want to share it. How do I do that? Well, so first of all, what I want you to get that is a really golden nugget is, as I said, don't get impatient with people who don't look at your information right away when you share it, or who don't say yes right away. Don't let that run you off. I can't tell you how many times my friend followed up with me very gently, very kindly, and said, just checking in. Have you had a chance to look at it yet? And I'm like, no, but I will. And I did. And when I did, it changed my whole life. The second point I want to tell you is he didn't say much to me at all. He told me why he took it. He told me, that it was such a validation to me that another physician had shared this with him. And so subconsciously, I thought about that. All right. So the fact that he said very little, but he sent me to some short videos with professionals, it was everything. So my advice is say less. Less is better. Get their interest up, ask questions, tell them why you thought of them. Just like my friend said, you know what, I thought about you because you have 4 children. He didn't say, I don't know if you're looking to get healthier. It was so simple, but it's what drew me in. And then I listened to the professionals and I totally got it because they explained it in a way that I needed it. And as a nurse, I really ate up the research about it all. Okay. So then I started sharing Juice Plus. I got customers pretty quickly. My friend got me on a 3-way phone call. There's another key point. Immediately got me on a 3-way call with his sponsor, who is an NMD. And I said, what do I need to do? And he said, go out and get some customers. We want you to get to the second highest commission level. He told me what it was within so many days, and you'll get a bonus. And I'm like, okay, I like bonuses. He didn't get real detail. We were on the phone. He knew I didn't have a lot of time. And he said, but that'll give you a qualified business. Qualified business, you hear that a lot. It's the stability and foundation of your business. Today, that is 1,800 points a month is what you want to work toward. And then he said, and then eventually get to sales coordinator, and you will be at the highest commission level of the company. I said, well, tell me what I need. He told me how many customers that would take. I said, okay, that was it. That was our phone call. And so I just started getting customers. I didn't get bogged down in a lot of details. I didn't spend hours preparing to go do. I just started talking. And I talked to people as I did life. I got out. I was at school a lot. I was at sporting events a lot back in that era of my time. I was seeing people. You got to see people. It has to be intentional to talk to people. And I just brought it up very casually. I didn't do a presentation. I would listen. I would listen for cues. Okay, my kids have been sick. Okay, I'm so tired. Okay, we don't eat very healthy. And I'm like, tell me about it. Like, I know, girl, I'm there. But can I just tell you something I just found? Well, I'd say, you know what? We're watching the game, or you got to drive your kids home. Here, listen to this. And I would give them something to listen to. And I said, I'll call you. We'll talk later because I want to hear what you thought. That was my whole verbiage. All right. You don't want to get into a huge presentation the first time you talk to somebody. You want to just keep it simple. Because, guys, here's the thing, and here's what you got to remember, especially for those of you who've been with the company a while. When you are talking to somebody about this product and you're sharing it, you're basically training that person to be a partner one day. if they decide to. If you make it too complicated, if you make it all about you're wanting to have this hour-long conversation with them and tell them everything you know, they're going to go, I can't do that because I don't have that kind of time. So just remember that. Use the tools we have to make it simple for you. You don't have to be the expert. Take the pressure off yourself there, okay? You don't have to be the expert. Yes, I know a lot about this and I get it and I understand a lot about the research because I'm a nurse and I kind of eat that stuff up, especially the research. It's amazing. The research is amazing. But do I get into all that with people? No. Because you know what? That's probably not their thing. And most of the people, honestly, they don't want to hear all those details. They want to know why you love it. They want to know what it's done for you. So what did it do for me? It gave me peace of mind. It gave me peace of mind that my children, no matter what our schedule was like that day, what my schedule was like that day, at the end of the day, I knew that they had had all these wonderful fruits and vegetables and berries in their system, and I knew what it did for them. I knew what it was doing for them according to the research. So I just built a customer base just by sharing. I fast tracked. I got to the top commission level, got the bonuses along the way, which were just an added wonderful thing. But you may be asking, why did you decide to do the business? Okay. I didn't have to do this. It had nothing to do with money. So don't think that your best candidate out there to go look for is somebody who's broke, barely getting by, trying to pay bills and just living on the edge of life. I mean, there are people out there like that, and we definitely want to share with them. But I had a very comfortable lifestyle. I was married to a very well-known physician here, top-notch surgeon, had a wonderful home. I had my kids in the Christian private school I wanted to have them in. I had a place at the beach. I was really just living a nice life, and it had nothing to do with the money. You want to know what the first thought was that went through my head when I thought about doing this, other than the fact that I might as well share with people? That's the reason I started. Because I fell in love with the idea. I fell in love with what it was doing. I fell in love with what the research said it would do. And I wanted my friends to know. I was like, how could I not share this? How could I not tell people, hey, y'all, there's a solution. We don't have to just have mom guilt all the time from running through the drive-through. We don't have to send our kids off to school with nothing in their body but, sugar-coated cereal. We can do better. My other thought was, and you're going to laugh at this, I just wanted to have some money of my own. I wanted to be able to decorate my house if I wanted to without having to always ask. Just that fun money. That's what it was. I wanted to be able to buy a present for my husband and it not be on the credit card where he gets to see how much it is. It's not much of a surprise. It's kind of like it's not a gift to me if you can't do it a little bit privately. I just wanted fun money. So always remember that. Sometimes the person you think is not likely to do this, you have no idea what they're thinking in their mind. For me, it was fun money. But about 5 years into this, I did get to a nice position. It's about halfway through the marketing plan. I had life to happen to me. Totally surprising, didn't expect it, but I found myself after 32 years single. Literally overnight, my marriage fell apart. My husband was gone, and I was left with a broken heart and a lot of questions. What am I going to do? I haven't worked as a nurse in a long time. I had my license was current. I'd kept it up because I had volunteered a good bit. But, oh man, I've got my parents here. I've got kids that I'm used to going to their programs. I'm used to now they're in college, all but one. I had a senior in high school when this happened and everybody else was in college. And I thought, I don't want to like have to go back and punch a clock. I don't want to go back in the hospital. I don't want to have to do these things and not have the freedom I'm used to having with my children and the freedom I now need to help my mom take care of my dad. What am I going to do? I knew for a while I would be provided for somewhat after the divorce was final, but I knew that wasn't forever. And you know what? I didn't want my life to go back to having such a rigid schedule. I just thought I can't do it. But what am I going to do? I'm going to need insurance. I'm going to need an income. And I looked at what I'd already started, which was this Juice Plus business. And I thought, okay, you've started this. You have time flexibility. You have time freedom. You get to make your own schedule. You get to do this anywhere on the road. You can do it when you're at Mississippi State visiting your kids. You can sit in the stands still at ball games. And as my son was playing football as a senior, you know, that was how we did our business because we do it as we're doing life. And I don't have to work for somebody else. So I was like, you know what? There's a great benefits package when you get to National Marketing Director. So get busy. And at that time, I was Senior Sales Coordinator, which some of you may or may not know what that is, but it's just halfway through the marketing plan. And in those 2 years, I went from Senior Sales Coordinator to National Marketing Director because it was 2 years of absolute pain and hell. There's no other way to put it, hell on earth. But I focused on this. It took a lot for me to do that, but I also saw this was my answer. This was my future. And you can do it. You can do it. It also gave me a huge why, a huge purpose. So I was so thankful that someone had shared this with me, thinking only that I'd be interested in it for kids' products, kids' health. As it turned out, it became what I needed. Who knew? He certainly didn't know. I didn't know. So as I went through getting to National Marketing Director, I learned so much about being intentional, going out, focused. And I think when you get up in the morning, and this is something I am preaching to myself right now, when you get up in the morning, what is your focus on? What is your plan? How many people do you want to talk to that day? Back in the day, we had this wonderful sheet, which is still one of my favorite things. It's called the 2 by 2 by 2. And I would fill it out. I would sit down every Sunday afternoon and fill that out. And there's a marketing director in our company that I heard give her NMD speech on stage right when I joined. I went to my first conference. I'd only been in the business, only been a partner 2 months. And I went to my first conference in San Diego. I didn't know a soul. I didn't have a soul going with me. When my sponsor found out I was going, he goes, "You're going?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I saw it online." You know, when I was looking at all this stuff, it said something about a conference. And I just felt like, you know what, if I'm going to do this and be serious. So this is way before life fell apart for me. Okay. I was just doing it for fun money, right? But I kind of wanted to be serious about it. I wanted to be professional. So I said, I just want to go get the big picture. And I'm telling you, that's the reason I'm still here today, is I went to my first conference. Conference is so important to expose new people to, because you get the big picture and you get the community. And that's what I fell in love with. So I went and I came back and I was recharged. I met people. I met Danny Martin. I met Carrie. I met Mickey. I met some people from right here in Memphis. I live here where the home office is. All right. So I was able to meet a few of those people because they were there. And it draws you in. You hear these names, but when you see these people on stage, it's so much more real to you. And it all of a sudden, it becomes so big, but yet it brings your world in to where you feel like you're such a part. So I I want to just encourage you. I hope you heard a few of those things I said. Don't prejudge. Don't think that somebody doesn't need the money, even if it's just because they want to buy presents and nobody know how much they cost. Hey, you don't know their reason. That's a great reason. But then you also don't know what's down the road for them. I think everybody needs a plan B. I think everybody needs multiple streams of income, especially in today's world. We get up every day in instability. We do, especially economic instability. But do you know that this company, some of their best growth and best times have been in those times, economic instability and recession? You know, we're kind of there right now, aren't we? But people are looking. People are getting laid off from their jobs. I just read over the weekend, there's more coming. People need to hear from us. We need to get loud and proud again. Don't look at somebody and think she's too busy. She's got 4 kids and she's got parents. She's too busy. Hey, busy's good. You know what? Sometimes the busiest person you know will be the most successful person you know, because they're out, they're seeing people, they're around people to have conversations with. And definitely, if you know a medical profession person like me, don't think, oh, well, she's a nurse, she already knows about nutrition. I knew nothing. I didn't learn any of this in nursing school. I didn't learn all about the beautiful phytonutrients that are in this. This is not a vitamin. It's nothing like a vitamin. And that's the beauty of it. It's the whole plant. And so I started from ground zero when I got into this in learning and the value of the education, which what I did is I just went to Juice Plus University. That's what we used to call it. I listened to so much information in my car. I use my downtime to fill my mind with education on the product, education on the company, education on the research, so that I could feel confident when I talk to people. But hey, I didn't know any of that. And most of your medical professionals that you know, they don't either, because we didn't really have to have a lot of nutrition courses in school. So just keep that in mind. Okay, I really, I want to encourage you to keep it simple, because I feel like in the beginning days, in the early days, that's what we did. We have so many great tools that are available to us now on the hub, on boards. Use them, but keep it simple, okay? And just have conversations with people. Don't try to, as Carrie Daigle says, don't try to do a presentation. You have the conversations. You get to know people. You ask great questions. The conversations will lead to an invitation. An invitation to what? To listen to something that will give them more information, to get on a Zoom like this to get more information. Don't try to be the expert. I still say less is more. You be the advertisement of why you're excited about this, what it's done for you. Give your short story. What has it done for you that gets them excited to listen to more? You know, I think our verbiage is everything, and I think it's important to learn some good verbiage. One of my favorite lines is still, when I'm wanting to just approach somebody to talk to, is to say, I thought about you because, just like my friend said to me, I thought about you because you have 4 children. Or I thought about you because, you know what, I always see you on social media working out. I thought about you because I always see you on social media posting great recipes. You know what? I would love to tell you a little bit about something I have found. Would you be open to looking at it if I sent you some information? Because I've discovered something that's really helped me with my fitness, or helped me with my nutrition, or helped me with my kids, or helped me with my autoimmune disorder, if that's what it is. You know, we see so much posted today because we're on social media. So watch for those things, but tell them why you thought of them. The other thing I love to say is, if I sent you something, would you consider looking at it? Because I want to show you something that might help you nutritionally. It might help you with what your problem is. Have you ever considered nutritional support for helping you. And then let them talk. Okay. Another good line is when you're talking to somebody, just say, tell me more. You know, we don't have to jump in there with the next long conversation on our end. Like, let them talk. So many times I've had to learn this because I know way too much. So I want to talk, but I have had to learn to step back and let them talk. Tell me more. Or if it's somebody that's really struggling and they've got some real pain in their life, whether it's health or finances, it's such a good thing to say, how does that make you feel? Or what does that feel like? Or how has that changed your life? You know, it may be a mom that's had to go back to work and she hates it. It may be a mom who, like me, found herself one day alone. You just don't ever know what's going to come down the road for that person. And when I tell you, you can't imagine the things, not only with my health, my children's health, and now my grandbabies' health, because Juice Plus has been in their body since they were in the womb, but the benefits package that I never knew I would need. I had a really serious health condition at one time. And because of that, it was a serious pre-existing condition. So when I found myself in need of insurance that I was worried I would not be able to get, because guess what? On my ex-husband's insurance plan, they couldn't kick me off, but I was going to be applying for new insurance. They could definitely not want to take me, or it would cost so much. It would be just inconceivably expensive because of pre-existing conditions. Well, this benefits package has an amazing, amazing health insurance along with many other things. And it was no pre-existing condition. You know, a lot of people didn't know that that had been in my life, but it was a huge answer for me. So just know that when you keep your mouth shut, and I tell myself this every day now, you don't know who and what is happening in that person's life, whether it's now or down the road, and they need to hear from you. So I want to close with this. I want to give you my top 10 reasons, and I'll have to just tell you right now, it ended up being 11. For those of you who are old Dave Letterman fans, you remember how he used to do the top 10 at the end of his show? But the top 10 reasons why I was drawn to this company at a time that I didn't have to do this, okay? It was totally optional for me. First of all, great product. Solid research. It was common sense. Fruits and vegetables. Who doesn't need those? It was from babies all the way to the grave. You know, everybody needs this. No one's left out, male, female. It's backed by solid research and not testimonials. It's kind of hard to find that these days, is it? And we usually just hear the testimonials, not research. You'll never find another company that has the research we have. Over 45 studies that are published in peer-reviewed journals. Solid gold standard research. I'm telling you, it's huge. No quotas to meet monthly. You know, I was just doing it for fun. I probably wouldn't have joined if somebody said, you have to get this many every month. And every month it starts over at 0 and you got to build back up. Wasn't any of that. You can take it slow. You can take it fast. It's up to you. But no quotas to meet. As Sean Hopkins' favorite phrase now is, who does that? Talk to some of your other friends who are in other network marketing companies, direct sell companies. A lot of them have to order a certain amount of product every single month, and they have quotas. I get to work it around my schedule. I told you how important that was for me with teenagers and parents. Plus, I just didn't want to be, I'd had so much time freedom. I didn't want to go back to not having it, and the flexibility. Positions were permanent. I can tell you that's a big who does that. If you know anything about any other companies or your friends' companies, that is rare. Once you reach a certain position, you're there. You don't have to go backwards and start over. If life happens and you don't get to work your business for a while, you're still at that position. I love that. I didn't have to stock any product. I didn't have to have inventory. I didn't have to deliver it. That was huge for me. There was no risk. $52 to join. I was going to make that back on the savings on my own product very quickly. But who does that? Honestly, $52 and renew it yearly? Really? Like, there is no risk. As I said, time freedom, work from anywhere. The company was solid. I love that. There's so many companies that are here today, gone tomorrow. There's a ton of them out there right now. Do your homework. Longevity. This company is over 50 years old. Juice Plus is just celebrating its 30th birthday. Y'all, there is no comparison anywhere. I want to encourage you, if you did not hear John Blair on the Healthy Living Affiliates Zoom this past week on Tuesday night, go to healthylivingaffiliates.com and watch the recording of John Blair. He will tell the story of Juice Plus. He was one of the main people that was responsible for getting it to us. Dr. Smokey Santillo invented it, but John Blair took it from there, and he is the reason that we are still here today because of research. It's an amazing story. You will appreciate this product so much by going to listen to that. It will require a password, and the password is affiliates with an S. And then the last reason, when I was trying to do 10, that I really wanted to join this company is I love their heart for children. And at that time, it was called the Children's Health Study. When I saw that my children could get it, I could sponsor one. Their dad could sponsor one. You know, at that time, it was 6 years old to 15. It was a very short age group. Today, y'all, this is amazing what we're doing right now with the Healthy Starts program. It's been renamed that. Do you realize what a huge open door this is for your business? Go back to the people who used to be on the program and that aren't anymore, that have rotated off. Go back to the people who maybe are not real active and go, hey, this is a great way to make contact with them. Guess what our company's doing now? Who do you know? Who in your life could benefit from this? This is such a great program to use right now to expand your business. But who does that? Who gives children product free for that long? If a child signs up now at age 4, it now goes 4 to all the way through their 25th year of life. They could essentially get it for 21 years if an adult continues to sponsor them. Who does that? But that's just the heart and the mission of our company. Jay Martin has always been, he's the president and founder of this company. He's always had a heart for children, and this was his baby. And I love this because parents will often do for the children what they won't do for themselves. They'll get on it. I've got customers right now who became customers because they wanted to get their children on it. And I'm like, well, you know what? If you're going to put them on it, you might as well take it too. And they're like, you're right. And now they love it. They're very, they are solid Juice Plus customers. Okay, so I want to just close and say, why did you start this in the beginning? What did you do in the beginning that made it simple for you to get where you are now? Go back to that fire, like I said in the beginning, that passion you had that made you want to share this product because you cared about people's health. You might not have cared about the money as much, but you cared about them. Go back to that because somebody out there needs to hear from you. Don't withhold it. As in my case, in many of your cases, I'm sure, whatever pain you've had in your life, turn that pain into purpose and turn that mess into a message. And that's what I want to leave you with, because nothing gets wasted that happens in your life if you see it from an area of my pain can be a purpose and my mess can be a message. And y'all, that is gratitude when you look at it that way. Thanks, Carrie. Thank you, everybody, for joining me today.
Thank you, Janet. Outstanding information. I really appreciate it. I hope all of you took some good notes. Mickey?
It was wonderful training. And in her story, can you just see that this was coming from a nurse's heart? You know, this is exact, and I know Janet very well. I've been knowing her for many years now through this business. And that's one of the great things about this community. Sometimes you're going to meet some of your very closest friends by just joining us and locking arms and hearing the stories and sharing life. And Janet has become one of Carrie and I's very dear friends. Hearing her story again just makes me want to go out there and tell what we have for the world, and just to know that, not enough people really plan that plan B. They don't work on that plan B because they think of the life that they're living in today is the way it's always going to be. Well, I relate to Janet's story because that happened to me many, many years ago, way before Carrie was involved in my life. So you just never know. Don't prejudge anyone. You just never know who's going to be ready to listen, whether it's just that they want to change the world with health and nutrition, or they want to have that little bit of extra money in their pockets. And when Carrie and I first heard about this business, that was me. I just wanted that extra money for if I wanted to do my nails or my hair. I wasn't going to ask him for everything that I did. So pay attention, listen to what people are saying out there, because you just never know who your next national marketing director will be. Janet, thank you. That was great training. And remember, the first Saturday of every month is more on the training side. But Janet turned this training into a story, a motivational story is what she did. So it was very, very awesome. Janet, thank you so much for being on with us today.
Yes, Janet, thank you so much.
Well, thank you all. I know it's a busy weekend, but I appreciate you being here.